Well, we had a minor mishap at the Old Car Festival. We took second place in our class this year. And that noise is not it. That noise is why I'm rebuilding that other engine for it. For the first time since I owned the vehicle, we put the top down. And the hinge up here, or one of these, caught this. And I got body work to do. I hate body work. I'm gonna see if I can fix this and not have it be as noticeable as it is. Car show this weekend, so I gotta get moving on this. And I had a noise coming from underneath, a rattling noise, but I think it was the cutoff for city country driving, because the rattle went away now. I played with this a little. Yeah, the rattle went away now. And that's what it sounds like when I was driving. Okay. Off to it. And the first thing I gotta do to fix this is this is screwed into wood. This body is a wood body covered in metal. And it dimpled this. So I'm gonna try to pull down on this a little bit without breaking it to get it straight enough. It's working. I need to go get a bigger wrench. Okay, I think this should work better. And it is. The key is to get it down to where I can get it straight without breaking the part that screws in. And I think I have done that. I still have a little bit more to go here. Okay. There we go. Now I need to get that off of there, which is just simple. Might even come out with my fingers. Let me get the right size wrench. Yeah, it's starting to come out. Believe it or not, this thing is metric. Focus you. Okay. Look how bubbled that is. Oh, that sucks. I'll figure out how to handle this. You know what I've done is I've picked it all off to where it was bubbled. I don't have any more loose paint. I've got this hole straightened back out. I got a divot here. Now, body work is not what I do. I'm not going to get into painting a whole panel. I'm going to get this back up and running as fast as I can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some spot putty in here. I'll tape off of the area, spot putty this, sand it to get it recessed. And I think I have touch-up paint for this vehicle. I got two different colors, two different cans, but I think it's the same color. And I'm actually going to brush it on, and then I'm going to let it dry and wet sand it and try to blend it in the best I can. Lucky enough where this is, there's a lot of distractions going around here, so if it's not perfect, it's not going to pull your eye straight to it. And then if all else fails, I'll just leave the backside curtain on. I've started off with 180. I want to get rid of that hard edge. So I'm going to blend that down. There's a divot right there. You can see it. So that's where the spot fill is going to go. Yeah, I might even mix up a little bit of Bondo for that. That little bit there, but I really want to get the hard edges taken care of here first, so it'll blend in a little bit better. Got the blending in. I think my Bondo's pretty old, so we'll see how that works out for us. Yeah. What I got going on now is the hole that went into goes through metal and into the wood. I am going to refill that hole where the wood is, some JB Weld, so that I've got something to screw that back into, because that wood got damaged when that bent over. And then I'll Bondo over top of all this. I got the JB Weld in. I got the hole filled, and I still have it in the recessed area. This is going to be harder to sand than Bondo, but I wanted to get a little in the recessed area where that dent was, just to help stiffen that up. The JB Weld will not crack as readily as the Bondo, at least in my freaking mind. So let just dry overnight. 24 hours is come and gone. I've started to sand the epoxy, and I have it below the primer line, and that'll give me enough room to fill this back up and then blend in the primer and paint, so it'll be on the same level. When I go to paint this, I'll bring the tape out a little bit, so I've got more room to blend the paint. I popped a little hole in there so that before it hardened, so I knew where the hole would be, and then I also wrote down the distances just in case. I'm going to hit this with just some light Bondo right now. That'll be easier to blend and sand than the JB Weld. I have cleaned up the area with a little bit of degreaser, wax remover, and alcohol, because this car's been waxed so many times. If I go to try to blend this in, it's not going to work. So I've just peeled back the area around here with the degreaser. I'm only going to paint out to about here. But let's try getting some of this Bondo on here. If this wasn't an area that had a pin that might fatigue the metal, I'd spot putty fill it, but I think Bondo will be a little bit stronger for that. It's saying add 2% hardener, and I'm just guessing here. I've got a feeling I've over-guessed, and this is going to dry pretty quick, so I got to move on this. It's tough mixing this stuff up in such small quantity or proportion. Make sure you get it all mixed in so it's all the same color everywhere. Oh, don't get that on there. There we go. I'll leave that little hole there, so I'll know where to drill. Let this dry for about 15 minutes. Humidity was up over 70. I kicked in the dehumidifier to cool it, or get the humidity to drop in here, help this stuff dry better. I've got it sanded down. The hole opening was just at the about an 1/8 inch to the perimeter of where I sanded it down. So in that recession. Now I'm going to pull this tape off, and I'm going to put another piece of tape with a bigger hole over this and blend it in. I blended it into the tape line, so right now the Bondo is the thickness of the tape, and I should be able to just walk it right in and level it right out. And now I got a little bit bigger hole in there, and I'm just using actually it's the back side of a nipper, is what I'm using, is a block sander. I might have to get in there and do it by hand a little bit, because I do want it to be even with the paint, not the tape. Okay, I hand sanded the center of it down so it's recessed a little bit, so I'll have room to put primer in there. I don't know. Oh, there you go. I'll just do that a couple more times, and then that way when I go to block sand it again, the primer will be recessed into the hole and it'll blend into the paint. I got it blended in, and there was a little dimple in the middle that I just hit with some spot putty. The last I left off at was with 220, and now I'm going to just probably go down to 2000 and try to get that sanded in the best I can and get it ready for paint. I'll probably hit it with some primer over top of that spot putty, but I've already got the primer there. I've got a good blend going in with the dimple. Airbrush should be showing up any minute. I ordered it on Amazon yesterday, and I got nothing but good things to say for this Allure Air. I'm down to 43 right now. I started at what, 70, not more. This is a big room to bring the humidity down that fast. Okay, clock's ticking, showing 2 days, 3 days. I've got it down to 600 grit, but let me show you something. I've got a little bit of pitting in there. That's where the primer is going to come in. The sandable primer, the filler primer. So I'm going to tape that back off again and hit the center of that with the sandable primer. Okay, I'm down to the wet sanding process. I don't want to take too much off. I want it to blend in with the current paint. And there were scratches around here that you saw in earlier videos that are disappearing, which tells me, since I'm using a flat block, that the repair is at the same level as the body because the scratches are disappearing. Amazon has screwed me. My painter's still not here, or my spray gun's still not here. It was supposed to be a prime overnight delivery. We're going on 48 hours now, and it has still not left the facility. So this is going to be interesting by getting all this done by Saturday. Since I'm waiting and waiting and waiting, I went in and touched this up a little better. That's the 1500 grit. I'm going to hit it with 2000 grit right now. And just like I said, waiting for Amazon to do what they're paid for. Well, I'm down to the wire. Car show in less than 24 hours. My Amazon Prime has totally screwed me. 5 days now. Should have been delivered in 12 hours. I am going to resort to brushing it on. And I'll put the side curtain on. And I'll show you why. So once I get the side curtain on, it's going to come down below that line and you won't see the repair. My thought process is it'll help seal the primer area, and I can always wet sand it down, which I am going to do when I get ready to paint it. When my airbrush finally does get in. Not really happy that I'm at this point, but this is where I'm at. So okay, that's good for now. let it dry, and then I'll get the side curtain on. There we go, side curtain on. I'm gonna use this to line up to drill the hole. I want this to be at the lower end of the hole so it puts a little bit of tension on it. So here we go. Oh yeah, that JB weld is strong. I need both hands to do this. I don't want this bit to wander. There we go, ready for the car show. You never know how ugly it is under there. It's a wonder bra. Okay, normally I finish with a beer, but I need to lose weight. Same dizzying effect with hunger suppressant. There you go. They'll never know. They'll never know.